Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma, and today we're going to be talking about the written ability test, which is a part of a lot of BBA entrance examinations, including the IPM and other BBA entrance examinations. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear and see me clearly, everybody? Am I clearly visible and audible, everyone? Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, so before we start off with our session on WAT, let me take you through a few things. So if you are planning to join any course, today is the right time because we've got flat 25% off going on all our classroom programs plus mock tests. Use the code HOLY25 and avail this discount at the earliest. Wait no more because this offer would not last forever. We've launched a new course for BBA, IPM and HM for people who are targeting 2023, which is a foundation module. So you can speak to our counselors on this number and enroll yourself at the earliest because remember you've got 25% off going on due to our holy sale. So don't wait, jaldi se enroll kar lo. And if you're targeting the CUET for 2022, a new batch has been launched on 14th of March. You could speak to our counselors on this specific number. It's CUET for 2022 is your target. Jaldi se enroll kar lo, wait nahi karo. Plus, if you're targeting IPM, it match for IIM Indore or any other IIM for that matter of fact, 9th of March, we launched a new course and the number of our counselors is this. They'll make sure that you sail through easily and we all of us will make sure that you prepare well for this examination and are completely able to crack it bang on. Jaldi se enroll kar lo, 25% off chal raha hai, wait nahi karo. Also, you know, the faculty that we have here, it's the best in the industry right now. We've got Joindip ma'am, Rabia ma'am, Salik sir, Vinod sir, and Ankur sir. So, jaldi se classes start kar do, wait mat karo. I shall see you in the batches very, very soon. So, आज का agenda that we talk about, hi Preeti, आज का agenda है that we talk about the WAT, which is a part of a lot of BB entrance examinations where you're supposed to write a short essay on a specific topic given to you, which is inevitably present in IPM and other entrance examinations as well. So if you clear the written examination, that's not the only part that you need to deal with. You need to deal with the interviews. Also, you need to deal with the WAT test. Now, what are you supposed to do in the test? You'll be given a topic and on that topic, you will be asked to write a small essay. Okay? And like we used to write essays in our school. So you will be given some topics and you will be asked to choose one and an essay has to be written on that. It is usually a part of the second round of the admission process once your written examination is done, which will be followed by an interview. Now, the point is that I will be taking multiple classes on WAT, but today we're going to be talking about what are the things that I expect you to write down in that session and then what are the common topics which you should prepare if you wish to sit for these BB entrance examinations that have WAT as their important aspect. Alright, so if you ask me for the pointers that I would like to give you once you're sitting for WAT, the first one is going to be why is WAT given to you? WAT is given to you to one, check your clarity in your thought, to check how good can you write, how good is your writing ability, can you write grammatically correct, lucid ideas, clear point of view, if you can express that or not. The first pointer that I think you need to remember is that you need to be absolutely crisp and clear in what you're writing. Unlike the other examinations where if you had to write something, आप उसी के आसपास आपको कुछ पता नहीं था, आप उसी के आसपास घुमाते फिराते चीजें लिखते रहते थे. It does not work here, my children. If you're supposed to write something on cow, but then if you've learned something on a hut, you start writing about cow, but you move on to writing about hut. That does not work here. You need to know about the topic that you've chosen and you need to write absolutely in clear argument or clear data or clear numbers or clear ideas that you have. It has to be absolutely clear and crisp, not unnecessarily elongating something. If you want to say something, write that in one or at max 2 lines, but don't keep on explaining that. If you think the line is self-explanatory, you could use good words, good vocabulary, fancy idioms, you could do that. But avoid using informal language. Informal languages, all right, damn, these words, right? Oh shit, you should not be using these words. You can't use them. You have to use proper formal communication, language, and proper grammar. Remember, you cannot afford to make any spelling or grammatical mistakes. You cannot make these mistakes. So whatever you choose to write, make sure your grammar and your vocabulary is absolutely clear. If you're unsure of the spelling, use some other word. If you're using a fancy word, you could use that. Absolutely permissible. Absolutely appreciated. Make sure you use them correctly. Make sure you place them correctly. Don't use any fancy word that you know only for the sake of using it there. जबरदस्ती यूज नहीं करना है. नीड लग रहा है यूज करो. इफ इट नेचुरली कम्स टू यू, यूज करो. बिकॉज आपने एक वर्ड याद किया है, उसको अननेसेसरीली उस सेंटेंस में फिट करने का नीड नहीं है. ऑलराइट, सो ultimately use good words, use proper grammar, use correct spelling, and use formal language. Do not use anything that's informal. Always use an analytical approach while explaining things. While you're explaining things, so rather than stating plain data, if you've read editorials, you see they analyze the situation and then they come to the solution, right? So instead of directly explaining, okay, this is what you believe in, or this is what the solution could be, could you mention the pros and cons and then compare them and then come to the conclusion? Yes, that would be a better one. So an analytical approach is mentioning the positives, negatives, both, and comparing them and then deriving a conclusion. That is how you analyze them. You weigh both the sides appropriately, you compare them, and then you come down to a conclusion. Yes? What happened? What did Vishesh ask? Okay. So, hi Nimesh. Does that make sense, everyone, till now? And make a flow of your text roughly before you even start writing. Give 1 minute, or rather 2, to jot down the ideas that you have. Once you've jotted them down, how are you going to arrange them? What will be your first paragraph about? What will the second be about? Third, how will you organize the information that's there in your head? Because the moment आपको topic दिया जाता है ना, पता है क्या होता है? अच्छा, okay. कोई बात नहीं प्रीति, ठीक है. विशेष पता चल गया WAT क्या होता है? Yeah. How many mock tests of WAT is enough? As many as you can. Nothing is enough, but minimum 3-4 is needed. Okay, Nimesh? Now, the idea is, when you are given a topic, आप बैठते हो और आपके दिमाग में thousands of ideas आते हैं, आते रहते हैं. ये भी लिख सकता हूँ, ये भी लिख सकता हूँ, ये भी लिख सकता हूँ. उन आइडियाज को जॉट डाउन कर लो. 1 मिनट लो, 2 मिनट लो, 1 मिनट रादर, तो जॉट डाउन कर लो उन आइडियाज को. द मोमेंट यू जॉटिंग देम डाउन, आपको पता है मुझे ये चीजें कवर करनी है और इनको मुझे ऑर्गेनाइज कैसे करना है. ऑर्गेनाइज, फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ किसकी बात करेगा, सेकंड किसकी बात करेगा, थर्ड कंक्लूजन कैसे ड्रॉ करूंगी मैं, उनको ऑर्गेनाइज करो. एक फ्लो चार्ट होता है आपके पास, तो जब आप एक्चुअली लिखने बैठते हो, आप इधर उधर की चीजें नहीं लिखते हो. यू डोंट गो हेयर वेयर, यू नो एग्जैक्टली मुझे क्या फ्लो फॉलो करना है. बिकॉज व्हाइल यू राइटिंग, तब भी आपके दिमाग में बहुत सारे आइडियाज आएंगे. रिमेंबर, वो आइडियाज आपको एक फ्लो में अरेंज करने हैं. बिकॉज इफ देयर इज नो फ्लो, ये अप्रोच आप नहीं फॉलो कर पाओगे. रीडर को कंफ्यूज नहीं करना है आपके थॉट्स के साथ में कि आपको थॉट्स की क्लैरिटी नहीं है. आपकी क्लैरिटी तभी आएगी जब आप एक रफ फ्लो बनाएंगे अपने टेक्स्ट का. एंड जो भी आप हेवी वर्ड्स यूज कर रहे हैं, एज आई ऑलरेडी सेड, यूज देम विद कॉशन. कॉशन मतलब ध्यान से यूज करो, अननेसेसरी यूज नहीं करना है. कि मैंने ये वर्ड मेमोराइज किया है तो मुझे ये चीज लिखना जरूरी है. Okay, not unnecessary usage, remember that. Now, let me bring you after the idea that I have. एक स्ट्रक्चर होता है, स्ट्रक्चर के लिए एक एडिशनल क्लास दूंगी कैसे अरेंज करते हैं, बट लेट मी टॉक अबाउट अ फ्यू टॉपिक्स. So I've bifurcated the topics on social affairs, business and economy, and current affairs. So let's talk about a few topics that you may practice writing on. So you've got the social and educational affairs में the new education policy और उसका implementation. आपको पता होना चाहिए new education policy क्या थी हमारे country की and how has that been implemented. Free metro ride for women or maybe reserved seats for women. Is it important? Yes, it is. You could talk about that. Shortage of open spaces and playground lead to negative tendencies in children. So, and iske saath saath, children not being able to go to school because of COVID. Impact of COVID on education. People studying at home and being unable to interact. The impact of it on their mental state. तो इसको आप कोविड के साथ लिंक करके भी आर्टिकल्स लिख सकते हो. स्वच्छ भारत मिशन सक्सेस इज स्टिल एट लार्ज. We can talk about it endlessly. Are we able to achieve it or is it only in papers? Or is the government doing a lot but we are avoiding it? Women empowerment and gender justice. इसके बारे में इतनी चीजें लिख सकते हो आप that it's just endless. Make sure you jot them down what you want to write about, what stance you need to take. Okay? Yes, I know. Yes, I know, Preeti. I took an article on in the editorial class on that. You remember? I took an article about the mystery. क्यों कुछ नया update आया क्या? All right, so let's move ahead. Women empowerment, gender justice, absolutely important. इसी के साथ साथ women and their roles in the management of companies. Very important because you're sitting for a management entrance examination. Women, उनका रोल, उनका एफिशिएंसी, उनकी रिप्रेजेंटेशन, उस पे भी आपको WAT टॉपिक्स मिल सकते हैं. बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ जेनरिक टॉपिक है बहुत ज्यादा. सोशल मीडिया लास्ट फ्यू इयर्स से इतना न्यूज में आ रहा है, आप हर चीज को देखो. जब हमने CAA की बात करी तो सोशल मीडिया का रोल आया. जब हमने फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच की बात करी तो मीडिया का रोल आया. जब हमने यूक्रेन रशिया की बात करी तो मीडिया का रोल आया. किसी भी करंट अफेयर टॉपिक को सोशल मीडिया और उसके इम्पैक्ट के साथ लिंक करके टॉपिक आ सकते हैं. Yes, so these are the social. Take a screenshot, everyone. These are the education and social topics which you can be asked WAT on. Let's look at the. I hope you've taken a screenshot quickly. Let's try looking at the business and economy topics. Economic survey of 2020, budget of 2022, both are extremely important. You need to know how the budget went through. You can easily be given a WAT topic which you can write immensely on. Please know how the budget went, what were the changes, what were the drawbacks, analyze them. Key features of the budget. Rise of gig economy. You remember we had taken an editorial article on gig economy. Nimish, remember something. When I asked you to give 1 minute to think about what you're supposed to write, that 1 minute will help you save so much time while you're writing the WAT. आपको लगता है इनिशियली कि वो 1 मिनट में मैं क्यों वेस्ट करूं, लेट मी जस्ट स्टार्ट राइटिंग. लेकिन जब आपका एक फ्लो ऑलरेडी बन जाता है ना अपने माइंड में या अपने रफ शीट में कि मुझे इस तरीके से लिखना है, it will just go smoothly. Just remember, if there are a lot of thoughts in your mind which you can't jot down because you have less time, prioritize them. Prioritizing is this is what I am supposed to write and this is something not very important so I can possibly omit it. Prioritize what you want to write. बहुत सारी चीजें लिखना necessary नहीं होता. Choose best of the things जो सबसे ज्यादा impactful हो सकती हैं, which will explain your knowledge about the topic. If you can quote data, examples, brilliant. The reader would know you know about the topic. And rather than taking an extreme stance, I would expect you not do that. Though I'll talk about that in detail in the next class, where I give you a structure of the WAT. All right. I hope that makes sense, Nimesh. So GST. So yes, we had taken an article in the Hindu class on gig economy. Very important. कैसे gig economy अभी increase हो रही है, कैसे हम उससे मेक इन इंडिया और आत्मनिर्भर भारत के साथ उसको अटैच कर सकते हैं, कैसे हम इसको इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देन farm bills and its impact. Yes, that's important. So these are the business and economy related topics. Let's quickly look at, take a screenshot everyone, then I'll move to the next one. Preeti, it's usually for IPM, and then there are other like symbiosis, it will give you a WAT as well. No, I haven't, Preeti, I haven't read that. Let's look at the next one. Current affairs. सबसे important current affair हो जाता है ये. Very likely you will be given a choice of choosing between COVID and something else. If it is COVID, you would know about that. Anything related to COVID, vaccination, countries sharing or not sharing vaccinations, impact of it on our economy, on students, on citizens, are we able to come out of it? What is the long-term plan? Everything related to COVID becomes essentially important. The Russia-Ukraine crisis, the Russia-Ukraine feud, that also becomes a very important current affair topic. Chinese apps और उनका ban थोड़ा old है, but last year बहुत news में था. The CAA bill also is a little old, but बहुत news में था. Net neutrality, yes. Also, the government intervening in the functioning of these social medias, very important. Media and its freedom or IPCC climate report. Anything that relates to climate report, IPCC COP26, the meets the countries have, anything that relates to climate change also becomes an important aspect of current affairs and topic that could come in the WAT session. Jaldi se screenshot le lo and start preparing on these topics before I give you the next slide on more current affairs topics. Send me a done when you're done taking a screenshot, everyone. Done? So, there could be other abstract topics as well. Abstract topics क्या होते हैं? जहां आप जेनेरिक कुछ भी लिख सकते हो किसी भी चीज से लिंक करके, but they don't necessarily talk about an issue. Not usually a current affair topic. So you could have real life or abstract topics as well. Some of them could be cricket, cinema, culture, politics. The turning point of India, how cricket changed our country, cinema, culture, and politics. How all these could change our country. India has more skilled human resource. We are just unable to tap it. And that's exactly why Atmanirbhar Bharat program was launched. So tapping the skilled human resource that we have in our country, which is still unemployed, about that. Women empowerment, abstract, real life, problematic topic, but you could talk endlessly about that. Social media and its impact, use of TV or media as a source of advertisement, and should the right to speak be censored? में आप इतने सारे एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो. नरसिम्हानंद का आप इसमें एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो. देश के गद्दारों को, I will not complete the sentence. आप इसमें एग्जाम्पल्स दे सकते हैं बहुत सारे ऐसे इवेंट्स का where right to speak, freedom of speech was actually demanded to be censored. Very important. जल्दी से स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो सब लोग. And if you're sitting for SLAT, then this is for you. SLAT में आता है ये. Okay. Next page, here it is. India's 1.2 billion population is an asset for the country. Again, ye population, like China used the population as an asset. Our country could also do that. How we could do that, how we could tap it, that elections, democracy, anything that relates to that, globalization and jingoism. Jingoism is my country is superior than yours. Do you see, we could see jingoism in the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Yes, we could see it throughout. NATO के साथ हमने देखा जिंगोइज्म, हमने रशिया यूक्रेन क्राइसिस में देखा जिंगोइज्म, हमने चाइना के साथ देखा जिंगोइज्म, हमने इजराइल और पैलेस्टीन में देखा, हमने अफगानिस्तान में देखा. ग्लोबलाइजेशन एंड जिंगोइज्म. रेरा, yes, home buyers and you know what RERA is, right? So, and why did RERA come into existence? Because there were a lot of construction happening around, and people were selling homes and flats. But then the home buyers were unhappy with the promises made and the things delivered, not delivering it on time, and that is why the RERA came into existence, which is the governing body, regulatory body. So RERA and its impact to the helping the home buyers, social activism, yes, बिल्कुल social activism की बात कर सकते हो, democracy के बारे में, browsing at workplace affects productivity. Watching reels, browsing on Google, Instagram, that law should be an instrument to social change. How can law ensure bringing social change? So that's the next list of topics I would expect you to prepare on. Take a very quick screenshot, everybody, before I show you the last slide that I have. And here comes the last slide. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. How is that a very important aspect for growing the liberty of our women? Bank recapitalization, बिल्कुल बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. Economy based topics can easily be asked. Smart city project, because a lot of tier 2, tier 3 cities are being identified and made into smart cities. Our new urban India approach. Aadhaar. When you talk about Aadhaar, एक बात याद रखना, don't talk a lot negative about it. Okay, because I know some people believe that the presence of Aadhaar is not necessary, but if you have it, I would expect you not to give any extreme viewpoints about it. RERA full form, Real Estate Regulatory Authority, I think. Yes, Real Estate Regulatory Authority. Yes, Vijeta, they are. They are enough. Yes. So, net neutrality, general topic में भी आ सकता है. Corruption is the root cause for current economic and social woes in India. How you deal with corruption? How can we handle that despite so many rules and regulations being already there? Corruption and ethics and morals. Yes, ये बहुत important हो जाता है. It can be about ethics in the classroom, ethics in the workplace, ethics in the culture. Ethics and morals is what is right, what is wrong, and doing only what is right. Because the organization expects you to be ethical always and put off morals. तो एथिक्स उसका implication, morals और उसका implication. Now these, जल्दी से स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो everyone. Done screenshot. All right, so guys, that's all for today. I hope I was able to give you an insight on what topics could be asked in WAT. Next session, when I bring WAT, I'll be explaining how could a structure of a WAT passage be made. How can you divide your passage into paragraphs? So what do you write in the first, second, third? How many paragraphs could you write? I'll explain you with the basic structure. I shall see you again very, very soon. Please practice these topics, read about them, and the next class I would also bring more topics to you. So that is all for today, everyone. A very, very good day, and God bless all of you.